What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is Remembrance Day. I don't really know how much I'm going to actually talk about the day itself, because I do also want to sort of talk about my family's sort of, at least as far as I'm aware, at least in the last couple of generations, our military history. So I will just sort of start the video with the little opening paragraph from Wikipedia. Easy enough to look this up yourself. But Remembrance Day is a Memorial Day observed in Commonwealth member states since the end of the First World War to honour armed forces members who have died in the line of duty. True heroes, one and all. Following a tradition inaugurated by King George V in 1919, the day is also marked by war remembrances in many Commonwealth countries, such as Australia. In most countries, it is observed on the 11th of November to recall the end of the First World War hostilities, which formally ended at the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. In 1918, in accordance with the armistice signed by representatives of Germany. What is my brain doing? Signed by representatives of Germany and the Entente between 5:12 and 5:20 that morning. And then the First World War hostilities officially ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles on the 28th of June 1919. So my paternal side, my grandfather on my paternal side, like my dad's side, I think he was like a washer room boy during, I don't remember where, but during the Second World War, which you know is a cool piece of family history. And even though he was kind of, he was kind of embarrassed about it, a little bit is what I remember. But I think it's kind of cool that he was able to serve his country, but in a way that didn't involve violence. I think that's really cool. It's really admirable. Yeah, I think it's kind of cool. On my mother's side, my grandfather was involved in the Vietnam War, if I'm remembering correctly, and there's a chance I'm not, but he was on the front line of one of the assaults. I can't remember where. But yeah, he was involved in the Vietnam War. And in fact, my parents recently did a little sort of, by recently I mean before COVID, did themselves a little tour of Southeast Asia, and Vietnam was high on the list of places they wanted to go, because my mum, and again, if I'm remembering correctly, had lived there for a little while, and I'm assuming that's during that time, because that's when and where my aunt was born, which is kind of cool. And then I think there's some military history with my mum's stepdad. I'm not entirely sure what it is, because obviously that's not my genetic background. It's just sort of, my other aunts, sort of through my grandmother. It's it's sort of their family history, and they're my aunts, so I can, and I sort of considered him to be a grandfather as well, giving me a nice little lucky number of 5 grandparents. But yeah, I think there's some there. My dad did, I think he was in the army for, I think like 7 years or something, in like the late 70s, 80s, sort of, I believe. He talks about his time in the military all the time. I don't think he was involved in any conflicts, though. He just sort of was stationed at one of the barracks down south. I think it might have been like Melbourne or something, maybe. He was just sort of stationed there. And yeah, that was about it. I myself have a couple of times actually done the little. I actually went in once and formally did the test that you can do to like get into the armed forces. My first time was, I was looking at doing, they had like a gap year sort of program thing that I was looking at doing, and if I'd gone in and actually done it, I probably would have done the multimedia technician role, which is essentially the Army's own little like advertising section. They do all the films, like the training videos, they do all of the like ads and stuff that you'd see on TV for them. That's them. They're not bringing in a film crew, they've got their own. And that's probably what I would have done, and then used that as experience to get into AFTRS. It didn't pan out that way, and then I got epilepsy, and I now can't join because of my seizures. I've got to wait until I'm not on medication and not having seizures before I can even look at going in again, and even then there's no guarantee, because it is now on my medical history that is something that could happen. But yeah, sort of a little story there about me and my family's military history. I mean, if you can write back far enough, and to get to this, we're going from me to my dad, my grandfather, my great-grandmother, and sort of from there, I don't really remember which way to go, but it's kind of vague, but from there up, basically. You end up going all the way back to Clan Gordon in Scotland, who were among the clans that joined William Wallace in, like the Braveheart story. So that's kind of cool as well. Yeah, so, and I'm not entirely sure where we break off from the clan, but I think that particular lineage takes me back to quite a high ranking part in the hierarchy, so I wouldn't be that far. I mean, obviously there's the actual top of the clan bloodline, but I think we're like my bloodline is like second or third in line, sort of thing. So when you look at it, really not that far away from being the Marquis of Huntley myself, which is a cool fact in and of itself. I'm never going to do anything deliberately to give myself that title, because that's all it would be. It's just a title. So if you're in front of me in line, don't worry, it's not going to be me that comes for you for that title. But yeah, it is kind of cool to think that like close to actually having like an aristocratic title. Kind of cool. Anyway, I'm just sort of rambling now. I don't know if I've got any other cool, military stories. So that's going to be about it for this video. If you are new here, hello, welcome. Please hit the subscribe button wherever it is on your device. And while you're there, ring that notification bell as well to turn on the post notifications so that you can be alerted when I upload new videos. If you enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up. Really helps letting me know what sort of content you guys want to see. And until next time, guys, keep your head screwed on.